So in this video I want to talk to you about Leica Q3 monochrome, the new camera that everyone is talking about. And first of all the photos you're going to see today are took from my Leica Q3, the original one, the 28mm version, and I just used the filter of black and white or edit it later in Lightroom. I'm sorry, that's my dog here and he's just going to be part of this video. So beside the fact that the sensor is actually the best way you can use shadows and light and the best way to capture black and white photography, and that means that if you're shooting only black and white, then there is no question you should get a monochrome camera, much more dynamic range and much more fun to shoot with a dedicated monochrome camera. But I believe that the real question here is really how you limit yourself so much and remove colors to get the story only by black, white, only by shadows and light. This is such an exciting thing to think about, and I really looked at my oldest photos of black and white and realized how much I love them and how much I can learn from them, even maybe more than a colored photography. Because for a black and white photo to be good, I think personally it has to be maybe simple, that's the word, and not very distractive. Maybe because how much it distracts our eyes when there are too many subjects on the photo that are not supposed to be there. And you know, the whole question of shooting black and white or not, it's close to shooting with maybe only one prime lens like the Leica Q3, 28mm or 43, whatever camera you have, but it's not necessarily something you need to do. Obviously you have the M system, you have other brands, other systems like Canon, Nikon, whatever you are using and like to use, but maybe you can agree with me that choosing a fixed prime lens is somehow like choosing a monochrome camera, but even more restricted, because you know, you're letting go of maybe even the Leica colors that everyone is talking about and everyone wants to get. And if you can only choose one of those two cameras and you need to decide between them, me personally, and this is just my preference for this stage of my life, I will get the original Q3 or the 43mm, the colored one, and not the monochrome camera, just because how I don't want to lose Leica colors. It's something that I love to have the option to do, and I think that the 60 megapixel really allows me to play with the raw files on the shadows and the light very in a wide range. Sorry about the English. And I think I can get pretty similar results with good editing to what I would get with most of the photos on a monochrome dedicated camera. I know maybe we'll argue that maybe it's not so true, and there are many technical advantages to a monochrome sensor, and I agree. But don't forget that the price here is a huge thing to think about, and if you are spending so much money on a Leica, then maybe you want to get the colors of the Leica also and not letting that go. There are many options to get like a monochrome camera, not only the Q3, the new one, and there are also many other brands that release a monochrome camera. Just a few months ago, or I think maybe a month ago, Ricoh announced that next year they're going to produce the Ricoh GR4 monochrome camera, which is very exciting. This is the Ricoh GR4. I just got this camera after I had the Ricoh GR3X, and I couldn't be more excited about the Ricoh GR4 that I got, just because I take it with me everywhere and I capture so many shots in black and white and in color that I just couldn't take with the Leica because it's not really with me everywhere. And they're releasing a monochrome camera, and I guess the price will be like more than half the price, like third of the price of the Leica Q3 monochrome. But you'll also lose the 60 megapixel sensor, which is actually, you know, if you want to get the higher image quality of black and white and do it the right way, then get like a Q3 monochrome. But if you want to play with a monochrome dedicated camera, maybe start with a Ricoh GR4 monochrome when it will be released in about a year from now, or just get another camera within your price range. I think that maybe I'm stating the obvious here, that it's all a question of your price range and what you're willing to invest in that. But the point is that if you want to get the highest image quality, then I think the 60 megapixel with a sensor of black and white will get you the most dynamic range you ever need for black and white photography, and you will get an amazing result. But you will lose Leica colors if you're not getting the original Q, and that's a shame, because it's so unique, it's so special. I get so many photos that I love with the colors that I get from the Leica, with the color of the profile, or things that I edit later with my Lightroom presets. And it's something to think about. And again, for me, I would take the Leica Q3, the original one. And all you really need to know, besides the fact that the sensor is 60 megapixel black and white monochrome camera, everything is pretty much the same. The design is a bit different, no red dot, only a black and white camera. Physically, the tilt screen on the back stays the same, the buttons pretty much, yeah, they stay the same, and it's not really a consideration of whether or not to buy this camera. But you know, it's really tempting for me to try it, because recently I got a lot to black and white photography, but I'm not willing personally to commit to that genre yet, only because if I will get this camera in the future, then I will do only that for a long period of time. And I think it's very nice to practice my eye with a black and white mode, like the profile on the camera. It's great. You have black and white and the soft one and a high contrast one. You can download your own if you want from Leica's app, which are great. And the most important thing is to remember that if you're going to limit yourself to only black and white, then this limitation can actually open a lot of possibilities for you, because you will be so focused on the goal, so focused on getting a clear shot with no distractions, with beautiful shadows and light, and just go on the street with a completely different mindset and get beautiful photography, get better and at this very hard niche. And of course you will benefit a lot as a photographer from this camera. I don't think you'll be disappointed if you get it. And I think maybe getting used of using the profile on the street, just walk a couple of times with a black and white profile when you go, and see if that's something that attracts you, if it's something you can connect to, because I don't want you to get the camera and then just regret that you don't have Leica's color with this price range. And you know, if you can afford both, then go ahead. I think you'll enjoy it, obviously. But I really want to know your thoughts on it. If you ever used like a monochrome camera or other brand, just let me know in the comments, because I want to read that and get my mind all set for the next video. If you like the video, like, subscribe, it helps me a lot. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon in the next video.